The first thing you need to understand about envy, it's your default. Majority judge people with this character. Majority detest the character in and of itself. The truth of the matter is everybody's default is negativity because this world is cohabitated on wickedness. That's why when you leave your house, look at this illustration. When you leave your house for holiday or vacation, when was the last time you came back to a clean apartment, sparkling clean? Exactly, you met dust. In fact, you know this intuitively. You see a well manicured garden. You never say to yourself, it happened by luck. The garden suddenly trimmed itself, raked the bushes along. For anything good to occur, it takes hard work. It takes deliberate effort. The point I'm trying to highlight is anybody who acts in the opposite manner or display divergent character traits deliberately calibrated his mind to appear such. Envy is your natural state. Envy is everybody's natural state. You have just not calibrated your mind to act in the opposite manner. So why do we envy? Why do we envy people? We envy people, especially success, in various dimensions because we secretly desire that realm. We secretly desire that dimension. Unfortunately for most people, when they try to attain a thing of which eludes them, they try sour grapes. They find some excuse. They find an alibi why they weren't able to attain it. Seeing someone of a lesser background, lesser advantage, procure success, unimaginable or in an astronomical way, has something it does to you. Instantly, it knocks out your excuse. So there is nothing. It is a terrible revelation in the sense that everything you've been saying up until that point are excuses. Envy. There are people today who comment on every single thing. There are people today who commentate on every single thing. I recall when I used to be like that. There was this guy after secondary school, what you guys know as college, or after college, university, he was making millions of dollars evident by his fucking lifestyle. And I would say to myself, he's probably living a fake life. That car is probably rented. The watch is probably not his. Why is he posting the same watch in 4 consecutive photos? I thought he said he's rich. The point I'm trying to highlight is I would look for everything to discredit this young man until like the prodigal son. I came to myself. The same Lord is rich unto all. Do not envy successful people. I know I'm not the best. I know I've not achieved every single thing I want to achieve. But there are people who envy me. Do you know what it takes? Do you know the concentration demand it takes to get here? I'm not talking of this blind hard work or the generic statements people make online, hard work. There are times where you have to buy boots that are your size, sitting on that boot, recalibrating your mind, meditating in the place of prayer and worship, begging God for the next level of your life. There are times where the odds were stacked against you. There are times where I lost money. I was in trouble. I was in debt. There are times where I thought it wasn't possible to get to the next level. There are times where you endure multiplication unimaginable. There are times where I almost gave up and you want to sit down there from your comfort zone and point fingers. Ah, this guy is successful. Are you sure? It doesn't work that way. Mind you, whatever dimension you detest, that door closes to your face. If you desire something and you detest it, it's an indicator to the universe you don't like it. It should never come to you. There are people in this day and age who would listen to my teaching, drop hateful and negative comments, but secretly admire the way I speak, secretly admire the fact that my content is unique, secretly admire the fact that I'm 6 foot 4, sexy as hell, and all of these positive attributes of my life. They detest it in the open and secretly admire it, secretly listen to the teaching, secretly be transformed by the teaching. My friend, I said it in the previous video. You can copy a Mona Lisa or you can duplicate a Mona Lisa, but you can't copy it. You can't copy it. Envy, it doesn't lead you anywhere. And with envy comes trivialization. You trivialize the success of every single person, yet you do no business of your own. Isn't it funny that the people with little to no results who are correcting, commending, and in a group filled with billionaires, the one who has no result, no stride, no track record in the business sector is pointing fingers and the emptiest of guns makes the loudest noise. I know my hand is twitching. I take boxing classes and I broke my wrist. But that's no excuse to distract this video. Just putting that out there so in case you see me struggling with my wrist, you know it's not some kind of ritual to hypnotize you or retain your focus or retain my audience. I'm seriously in pain and I've decided to bear that pain with no bandages and I hope my wrist doesn't develop an infection or I hope this doesn't lead to an infection. But back to the initial discourse, envy leads you nowhere. The kind of friend who would celebrate your success genuinely is the kind of people you should hang around with. There are very few. I'm not talking of the people who were with you when you were poor, but the people who genuinely celebrate your success. They are very rare. Well, if he's able to be with me when I was poor, why is it difficult now I'm wealthy? Why is it difficult now I'm successful? Now I've done the thing you were rooting for me for. The truth is, people want you to do better, but not better than them. Misery loves company. A girl in a relationship. Oh, my boyfriend did XYZ. Break up with him. We deserve better. And all our single friends are heckling abuses in order to draw her back where they become on the same level plane. I know people today who have tried to sabotage my success, seemingly friends, and I shared an idea with them, or I shared the next move. In fact, I highly recommend this for you to draw out the negative individuals in your life. You must learn how to shoot gun in the air to see who jumps out the window. So quick story, I shared my next move. I shared how I plan to execute that next move. Step back and watch the reaction, watch the next moves of those so-called friends. And I saw a huge portion of them began acting in manners inconsistent to the actualization of those goals. Say for instance, trying to avoid using the real example is a deliberate reduction. Say for instance, you were to help me record this video and I'm to sell this video for a significant amount which would be plugged into the business, engendering growth for the business, leading to more money, more income, more staff, more reach. So that's a plus for me. Your role in the actualization of this goal is hold this camera. All of a sudden you're busy, your girlfriend, mom's grandmother died, and you have to be at the funeral, and you have to plan. The body language, the atmosphere becomes negative. There are people today who curse rich people but secretly apply to their scholarships. It is a childish way to live. The same Lord is rich unto all. The time it takes to curse is the time it takes to build yourself. Someone will sit here tonight and after listening, instead of to make a covenant with yourself, to stop spreading hate, to stop spreading negativity, sit down with your destiny, make a conscious decision. My friend, next year would arrive. When next year comes, you will only be a bit older, but still in the same position. Make a conscious decision to get out of this world and you'll be fine. As always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.